From just keeps getting crazier, but also intense. From Fatima's disturbing transformation to the shocking revelations about Christopher and Jasper, this episode is setting the plot lines for the episodes ahead. But the biggest mystery of all, who was Christopher really talking to? Let's break down the key moments and explore some wild theories about what's coming in episode 5. Welcome and let's begin. Now, I got a mind-blowing theory for you. Let's shift gears and explore into another bombshell that's got fans excited. The revelation about Christopher and Jasper. Victor tripped down memory lane and gave us some seriously creepy details into the town's past, but we already knew some of them. It also raised a huge question. Now in this scene, Victor said that Jasper, the ventriloquist dummy that we last saw in the caves, could tell them everything that happened. Well, I got a theory that's going to make you question everything. I don't think Jasper ever actually talked. What if Victor remembers as Jasper talking was actually Christopher speaking to someone else or something else maybe? Think about it, Victor was just a kid when all of this went down many years ago. It's entirely possible that this young mind is trying to make sense of the horror that happened later, and he mixed up his memories. Well, I think we just cracked a major piece of the puzzle. Well, it's been there right there in our faces this whole time. Christopher was most likely communicating with the boy in white. And when you think about it, it just makes perfect sense. Now let's put our theory hats on what we might see in episode 5, titled The Light of Day. Based on the synopsis and that image of Boyd in the diner, I think we're in for one intense town meeting, finally. First off, the title The Light of Day is a pretty ironic for a show like From. I'm betting this episode is going to show us that even in daylight, this town is far from safe. Now picture this. The whole town gathered in the diner, emotions running high, and at the center of it, Tabitha. Fresh from her return, she's going to be the star of this town hall. I can already imagine the many questions. Where have you been? How do you escape? What's out there? And how are you in an ambulance? But where it gets really interesting is Tabitha's answers, or lack thereof, could bring some serious tension. Remember, she's trying to adjust to her new surroundings, including adjusting to the many questions that are going to be asked. Meanwhile, Boyd is going to be in the hot seat. The synopsis tells us that people are going to be questioning his judgment. And I bet this town meeting is where it all comes to a head. Picture Boyd trying to keep order while also defending his leadership. Now let's talk about Randall's fate after that intense cliffhanger. Last we saw him, he was surrounded by monsters, looking pretty worse for wear. But Randall's too important to just kill him off like that. Remember, he's one of the few characters who's experienced something truly unique in this town. That scene where Boyd has to make an impossible choice between saving him or Tabitha is going to have major consequences. We know that Randall survives. We have seen images of him with injuries on his face, but the impact of being left behind, that's going to be huge. I'm betting Randall's going to come back changed. Maybe he's learned something about the monsters. I don't think so, or perhaps he's going to hold a deep resentment towards Boyd for leaving him behind. Also, keep an eye on how Randall is going to interact with Marielle in the upcoming episodes. The synopsis tells us opening up to her about his fears. This could be a crucial moment for understanding what really happened to him and how it has affected him. After all, he has now had closer contact with the monsters that almost anyone else who have survived. But let's not forget about the Matthews family drama unfolding in all of this chaos. Jim and Tabitha's reunion was a roller coaster of emotions, joy, disbelief, and then that crushing realization that they're still trapped. Tabitha's heartbreaking words,
"What if that was our only chance to go home?"
Meanwhile, Julie and Ethan's conversation back at the house was equally powerful. Ethan's growing awareness of the dangers around them, while Julie struggles to hide her trauma. Shows how this place affects even the youngest residents. Julie's fear and her memories of the visions hints at more to be revealed. So let's explore one of the most disturbing scenes of this episode, Fatima licking Nikki's blood. And this moment is seriously unsettling and forced us to think about everything we thought we knew about Fatima's pregnancy. Many fans, myself included, are drawing parallels to Japanese folklore, especially the concept of kekai. In Japanese lore, a kekai is a type of childbirth demon that possesses pregnant women. This theory would explain Fatima's sudden, horrifying behavior. It's not Fatima herself turning into a monster, but rather the entity or the baby she's carrying inside that's driving her to these extreme actions. But the supernatural connections don't stop there. The lady in the kimono that Elgin keeps seeing, she might be an Amiona or an Io Niobo, both terrifying figures from Japanese mythology. An Amiona or Rain Woman is known for stealing children and licking water of her hands like a wild animal. Sounds familiar? Meanwhile, an Ao Niobo is a type of ghost that feeds on human. Either of this could explain the lady in the kimono and her possible influence over Elgin and Fatima's baby. What's particularly interesting is how this myth ties into Fatima's new diet of spoiled, rotten food and now human blood. It is as if the town is twisting this ancient myth, creating its own version of these folkloric creatures. This development is introducing new horrors to From and leave us with this question: what other mythological horrors might be in the shadows of this town? But here's where it gets even more twisted. The lady in the kimono that Elgin keeps seeing, I got a wild theory that she might not be some random vision. She might actually be connected to Fatima's baby. Think about it, Elgin being seeing her and those visions of this lady now, saying,
Help me.
what if she's the mother of the entity inside Fatima, reaching out to Elgin for help for this creature to be born? This would explain why Elgin is being so strongly influenced. The lady in the kimono is manipulating him, pushing him to play a role in his development. It's like the town is creating its own horrific version of a supernatural midwife. If this theory is true, we're not just dealing with a pregnancy gone wrong. We're witnessing the creation of something truly monstrous, and Elgin, poor guy, might be the key to bringing this nightmare into the world. The next few episodes are going to be an exploration of this even further. In episode 6, titled Scar Tissue, we're going to see Fatima and Ellis make a big decision about the pregnancy. Now, given what we have seen with Fatima's blood-licking incident, I'm betting this decision is going to be intense. Will they try to terminate the pregnancy, or will they embrace whatever is growing inside Fatima? Episode 7 is titled This Fragile Lives. Sounds like it's going to dial up the tension even more. We're told that concerns about Fatima's pregnancy deepen. I'm thinking we might see more disturbing behavior from Fatima, or maybe some physical changes that cannot be explained by a normal pregnancy. But here's where it gets really interesting. In episode 8, Thresholds, we're promised that accusations start flying and truths come to light in the aftermath of a tragedy. I hate to say it, but I got a feeling this tragedy might be related to Fatima's pregnancy. Could the birth go horribly wrong? Throughout all of this, we got to keep an eye on Elgin. I bet his role is going to become more crucial. Now, I hope I'm wrong, but a whole season to this storyline, it's not a good idea. I hope it doesn't affect the series, but a baby, must be important if they're doing this. Now, some things before we go. Let's not forget about our trio out in the woods. Jade, Kenny, and Kristi. They're like the show's version of a twisted camping trip. Jade's finally opening up about that creepy pilgrim he saw. You know, the one drinking blood from a skull. But Jade sharing information might be more important than we realize. Could these hallucinations be connected to the town's secrets somehow? Episodes ahead says that he will venture into the woods, so maybe, and I'm excited to see this. Also, we have Kenny and Kristi heart to heart. By the fire was a rare moment of calm in all of this chaos. Kenny's feeling lost, like everything he was fighting for is gone. It's a raw human moment that reminds us that these are not just pawns in the town's game. They're real people with real emotions. And Kristi, she's dealing with a lot of physical and emotional pain, trapped out there with a busted ankle. Their struggle to survive and make sense of their situation mirrors what's happening back in town, but with higher stakes. Real quick, let's talk about the new cop on the block, Acosta. She came in hot, didn't she? Fresh off the ambulance and straight up into From's nightmare. But her actions might have just made things worse. Remember, she started shooting at those monsters and it didn't go so well. Poor Nikki caught a stray bullet in all of this chaos. And now Boy's reaction to Acosta, that was intense. Remember, Boy's been trying to keep some sort of order in this town for so long. He got rules, systems in place to keep people safe. Then Acosta comes in and in a matter of minutes undoes a lot of what Boyd worked for. It's like watching someone knock over your carefully built house of cards. Acosta's actions and Boyd's reaction to her might be setting up a bigger conflict in the episodes ahead. So alright From fans, you heard my theories, now I want to hear yours. What do you think is really going on with Fatima's pregnancy? Who do you believe Christopher was actually talking to? And what's your take on Randall's fate? Drop your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more From breakdowns and theories. I will see you in the next video where I will explore into episode 5 preview and see how many of our predictions come true. My name is Christian from Being Premiere. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye one.